What would bringing home an SEC championship mean to you?
I mean, I think we all know the answer to that. I mean, a lot, right? I mean, I think we got, some of these people that on staff got one in 16. They were here in 16. But, I mean, anytime if you bring home a championship in the toughest league in the country, it's probably even harder to win it now. I don't know where the SEC was ranked in 16, but now it's probably even harder. But obviously that's what you're playing for when you go up there. But we want to bring one home every year. I'd like to bring home a regular season and then the tournament. And then just bring on an NCAA one, too. Get all three of them.
And as a coach's perspective, they get that first bye and then to play somebody who played the day before. I'm wondering, is that an advantage, disadvantage? How do you see that?
Well, I think it's always an advantage if you're trying to go win the tournament to not have to play as many games. I'm not saying you're going to be the best the first 10 minutes of the game, where another team that's played in the arena may be a little bit better. But, I'd still take the bye.
You talk about playing to win and just the thought of playing 4 games in 4 days, just what's kind of the mental and physical approach to that to, try and run a table like that?
Well, I think that you got to play aggressive attacking and you can live with whatever rolls after that. I do think that the way we closed the non-league out was pretty important because, I don't say anything for bulletin board material, so if the NCAA tournament committee can hear you say, or it's like leaving a party and you say, the cops aren't going to pull you over for going a mile over the speed limit or something, and then they're all out there ready for you to go a mile over the speed limit to show you that they're in control of this thing. But I think the way that we ended the season, we aren't going up there with the weight of the world on our shoulders. So our players should be able to go up there and play loose, and that's what you're going to have to do. Is you're going to have to play make in that game, and you're going to have to in those games to make some shots to keep advancing.
How are you feeling that for the last couple of years of your career you had to win 4 or 5 games in a week to make the NCAA tournament, and now that weight has been lifted off your shoulders?
Yeah, it's just a different kind of weight, right? Like we had to win 4 or 5 games or we had to win 10, 11 games over the course of 2 months or whatever it was. But it's a totally different deal. I actually was talking on something earlier today, and I mentioned that I thought in mid-major basketball, the teams that won the regular season probably accomplished the most because it's the biggest sample size, and anyone can get hot in a 3-game deal. And so I've always thought they should take the regular season winner in the mid-major, because you're going to that conference tournament a wreck because you're another team getting hot on you from cutting your lights out, and you're the team that should be in the tournament, and they're in somehow. This is totally different because you have that large bid situation. But, tournament basketball is a tournament sport. Like, this is where people tune in. And we all know memories that have been etched in everyone's mind come from tournament playing basketball. And that's the SEC tournament. That's the NCAA tournament. And, that's what makes it, I personally preferred football when it was, just a regular BCS 2 people playing for the Natty. A lot of people don't like that. I like that because every game in the regular season matters. It's almost like if you lost, you're done. And that's kind of what it feels like now. You lose, you're going home. And so, that's what it'll be.
Growing up in the SEC footprint and everything, I'm sure you followed SEC sports forever. So does being in this SEC tournament for you a little more special?
It's funny because I've never felt that when I've been coaching in a game. Like I thought that, like before the season, if I was coaching at Auburn and we played Alabama this year, or never felt it. Just being real, I've never felt any different than coaching a JV basketball game because you're just so dialed into your team and what you got to do. But I will say that I've gone to that tournament so many times growing up. I've sat behind the benches a lot of times. I got so many incredible stories. Just so many great stories watching what's going on behind these benches that I can't even say on here. But if you want to catch me after, just some awesome stuff. Just some awesome, that some coaches that are still in the league that we could play against here, and watching them behind the bench and just, wow, that was amazing watching what just happened. So that'll be fun. That would be fun because I've been there and have great memories. I've had my players I've coached had played in that tournament. I've been up there to I've hung out with the coaches because I was tight with a lot of those guys that were coaching the SEC at the time. right before they're about to walk in there to play a game. So I kind of know the vibe of it, and obviously we're looking forward to it.
Bucky, do you know or could you estimate how many SEC tournaments you've attended?
I don't know. I've been in Nashville several times, though, because it was usually right when our high school basketball season was ending. Several times we'd win a state championship and we're right up there like the next, week. And so in high school, we'd play if we won, and like I would do like 2.5 weeks off, and I would just hit a lot of these tournaments, and so we would, but I went to a lot of them several years in a row up there.
And I wanted to ask you, I was looking it up today, that you are 12-3 when Rylan scores in double figures, and when you didn't, it was like the Alabama game, the Tennessee game, and Missouri, high scoring
Right there,
game.
yeah.
Coincidence, or is Rylan that important?
Rylan's very important. I mean, I think Rylan's mindset the past couple of games has been the mindset he needs to have, which is like he's got to play not just a part of the game. You hear the Conor McGregor line, not take part in the game, go take over the game. And I think his mindset has to be, I'm here to take this thing over. This time of year, I know it's repetitive, you're going to have some guards take it over. And, it's a guards game, and when it comes down to it, and particularly in tournament play, and, the way he's played the past couple games has been as good as any guard in the league. And he's got to bring that in this tournament.
What it mean to you guys to see Rashaun get the All-SEC honor?
So great for him, I just think, this is a kid that played junior college basketball, played mid-major basketball. Like Rashaun, I told Rashaun, because you need to rest your body, bro. You've been going so hard. You got to chill out. What do you think about, Dave, if we took 3 days, this wasn't recent, it was 2 weeks ago. Took 3 days off and you didn't practice day before the game, just get you right. You're like, I have to play. I'm not a naturally good basketball player. I'm one of these guys that has to play every day. And I admire that about him. It's like he has worked himself into being an incredible basketball player. He probably, his endurance isn't the best. He's just that heavyweight boxer, and you can see he gives you everything he's got. And, to do what he's doing at his size, the way he rebounds the ball, and have as many double-doubles as he's had, it's incredible. And it's been a long journey for him, but he's where he needs to be.
I remember being back at the court hearing in October, and you testifying about him, and basically said he'd be irreplaceable even before he even played a game. Just what's the biggest way you've seen that maybe ring true for you guys this season?
He's just a soldier. He's not going to back down from anybody. He's a leader. Rebound. Why can Rashaun at his size do what he does rebounding? Is it an incredible athlete? It's just his mindset. This is mine. I am getting this ball. You are not getting this ball. How can he, in one of the most important games of the year last game, late in that game, cashes 2 threes, goes to the basket, gets an N1, blocks huge shots. That's just what he is. He's just a baller. And you got to have that. And, we talk about rising up this time of year. That dude's rose up all year long.
To that point, to be able to ID what he could do and what you saw for him vision-wise to work out, how important is that for recruiting to say, hey, look at what we saw a vision for Rashaun, look at what he's done for us, we could do something similar for you?
I think it's always good in recruiting that the players can vouch that what you say is true. I'm a truth teller in recruiting, and I tell people what I see and what they're going to have to do. And so I think that they ask those players, and you hope the players would say that they were honest with me when they recruited me. I don't promise anyone anything, but I say if you work really hard, I can see you being this. And he's been all of that, and so have a lot of our other players. I think that you also want to recruit. You want to play in a way where your other players watch your team play and say, "Man, I want to go do that. That seems like fun." I think we got some good stats. We've been a top 10 team in the country in scoring. In the SEC play, we've been a top 3 defense. We've been a high assist team, which means we pass the ball. So most players would want to be a part of that.
You twice this year beat South Carolina already. Do you buy into it's hard to beat a team 3 times or 2 times thing?
Well, we beat Oklahoma twice. We played South Carolina once, but the good part is that if we played Oklahoma, we don't got to beat them 3 times. Just got to beat them 1 time. Thank God. If we had to beat them 3 times up there, we'd have problems. But they're playing good. Like both teams. South Carolina got a win the other day at Ole Miss, and Oklahoma's playing really good. We gave them their last loss, and look. You look at Oklahoma, they were right around the top 25 team before conference play started. They lost a lot of close games and in league play, but they could certainly. I think they're still fighting right now to be a tournament team. So they're playing well. They just popped Texas. They won at Vandy. They got great guard play. They're a problem, and that's not to negate South Carolina. We just only played them 1 time.
I think it was in your post game. You talked about that last play at LSU when y'all were maybe supposed to intentionally foul him, and McKinnon got the open shot. Did you get to go back and see maybe what the breakdown was and why that didn't maybe transpire?
Oh yeah, I got the breakdown all right. I know what happened, and I watched it with one of my guys on the plane. Bro, what happened? And I don't care what excuse you make, the film doesn't lie. What was supposed to happen. But we can't do that. At the end of the day, I think Ruben ended up blocking the shot from the. If you go back and you watch it, I think he altered the shot. Thank God that was Ruben, in that spot. The way we executed that last one, we may have tackled him and got an N1, and that would have been a heck of a way to end the regular season play.
So what characteristics do a SEC tournament team and an NCAA tournament need to have to make a deep run?
You got to be good on defense, that's for sure. You got to do that. You obviously got to have your guards play really well. I think that you got to play to win. You can't play not to lose. You just got to go and, you can't hang on. And I think our team knows that. I think we hadn't hung on at any point all year long, but we're not a team that's oh, man, I hope they don't lose in March Madness. They really would blow it. That's not our mindset, and that's not where we are. So let's just roll, be aggressive, let our guards play well, play tenacious on defense, and be us. I remember that was most important thing when we played when I was at Sanford and we played Kansas, and we were right there to beat Kansas in the NCAA tournament. And I remember somebody was talking to me, Jay Wright was talking to me. He's like, man, what are y'all going to do? Playing how y'all play when y'all are outmatched versus Kansas in a mid-major. And I said, the most important deal is that our guys are comfortable in the game. Let's just play how we play. And sure, they got some dunks and block shots, and we missed some threes, but we ended up making almost 20-something threes in the game. And so, probably should have won the game right there. Just had a controversial ending.
Rashaun, 3rd team All-SEC, just what that honor mean to you, and just, as the guy who's kind of been the leader of this team this season?
It's always great to get recognized for having a great season, for your team having a great season. I feel like being in that means your team did great, and you did what you're supposed to do as a leader of the team and as a player.
Rashaun, I'm curious about it. You're a guy from Chicago that's played a lot of places. Now you're at A&M. First of all, I wonder what you knew about A&M before you came here. And then I'm looking up at you, and you saw him the horns off and things like that the other night. Could you have envisioned even any of this, say, a year ago?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I told my family, when I first got into basketball, my dream school was always SC. But man, this is a wonderful university. I love being here. I love being a part of this. Just seeing this atmosphere and being able to be a part of this was always it was great. And I'm grateful for this opportunity.
When you talked to Marcus Hill and you talked to Bucky and you started the recruitment process and they told you this is what we had plans for, and obviously there's a lot to play for, but did you expect it to be this and it to look like this for you?
Absolutely. I would say you always strive for the highest of the highs. You never think too low of yourself. You always want to go for the utmost, and then set the bar, and whatever happens under or above you always just be grateful for it.
Well, since you're striving for the highest of the highs, I wonder how important y'all view this SEC tournament, knowing that the bigger tournament is that after the next weekend you're already in it.
To win. You should always want to win. I mean, I feel like any athlete, you should want to go in and try to win. I wouldn't tell my teammates, like, we're going to go in here just to play one game. Nah, we trying to win everything.
You know, to that point, to win the whole thing would take winning 4 games in 4 days. Just how do you kind of approach that from a mental, physical standpoint, knowing the caliber of talent you'd have to go through to do that?
We got to go in and do our job. Understanding that, winning 4 games in 4 days is tough, but, if we do what we're supposed to do and we don't go into a triple overtime, we'll be all right.
Yeah, how are you feeling on Sunday after that game?
I feel good. I'm always ready to play another game if I got to.
From your teammates' perspective, why do you think Rylan is on such a heater now? Back-to-back career highs.
Focus level, understanding each game matters, understanding that, it's this time of the year that we got to prepare ourselves for a lot of things that's going on next.
And when you look at March, right, and you can answer yourself here, but this is the time where like legends in college basketball start to get made. When you look at your team, anybody that stands out to you and say like his game and the way he plays is built for this moment?
I feel like you just never know with this team. Anybody can come and spark a run for us at any given day, even at any given game. So I feel like just be prepared for anything to happen.
It seems like the last couple of games y'all really increased the amount of turnovers that y'all forced. Just what have you seen maybe from some of the things y'all been able to hone in on with the defense and the press that's maybe allowed for that?
I feel like we're playing extremely, extremely hard. We're playing harder than we was playing in the middle pack of the year, and we getting back to the start of the SEC season. Once we started off that SEC play, I feel like we played this way. We played like our type of basketball.
What excites you most about this week in the tournament?
Just being able to compete in the SEC tournament. You don't get these things to happen often. I'm only gonna get to do this one time, so just that.
Is there any teams or any players you want to see down the line?
Nah, I just want to win.
What does it mean to you that you came here with the goal of making the tournament for the first time in your career, and it was pretty clear that with the LSU win, everybody knew what that meant, that you get to now play in March Madness? What have the last couple of days been like for you, knowing that dream is one step closer to being achieved?
Just happy, understanding that now that we have made it, now we got to win games. I'm always, thinking of the highs, but always being grateful for the opportunity. So being grateful for that, but understanding that, I just don't want to appear in the tournament. I want to win games in the tournament.
For a guy that grew up outside the SEC footprint, did you ever imagine SEC basketball being like it is, and what has it been like to see from afar and now be a part of that sort of growth of the league?
It's been great, to be honest. I wasn't really a big basketball guy, growing up, so I didn't know much about, SEC basketball or even basketball period. My family kind of knows all the ins and outs. My uncles, my older brother, and I mean, it's been great, to be honest, just to be able to say, man, I played in the SEC.
11-7 in SEC play, tied for 4th. Just as you look back, start to finish, and just kind of the things y'all had to overcome, what's maybe been the key thread or the key factor that allowed y'all to have that success throughout the entire conference slate?
How hard we play. No matter the ups and downs of, wins or losses, staying even and continue to just be us and play hard. I feel like I stress that a lot to my teammates. Don't allow, wins or losses or emotions to dictate how hard you play basketball and the love for the game of basketball.
What kind of separates A&M from other teams in the SEC tournament?
We play hard. We get up and down, and I know the way we play, people may say, we may not be able to do this back-to-back days, but I feel like, the team is going to be so in the unexpected, playing a different team. You never know, they may go into overtime, and then they got to come play us, and play the way we play.
Rylan, how important is the SEC tournament? Because, it looks like you're already in the NCAAs. So from you guys, how do you approach it?
I think it's important. Just you could get a lot of good wins against quality teams. So it's important from an aspect of feeling confident before the big dance. So it's very important for us.
What do you just feel like it's been clicking well for you these last couple games where you've been able to have the outputs that you've had?
Just my coaches and teammates challenging me. After the Texas game, Pop Isaacs called me and he told me that you can't be taking like 3 shots or playing like not aggressive and us like do what we're supposed to do. And then the day after when we had film, coach said the same thing. He kind of like called me out. He kind of challenged me to just play better and be better for the team and get out my comfort zone a little bit, do a lot of things that I haven't done in college before. So I would say them two really got me like going. It really made something click in my head and made me want to play better for the team.
Is there maybe a little bit of sense of urgency from you knowing this is kind of your last run in college as well?
Oh, definitely. You always want to have something to remember in a college season, and I feel like if we get to the tournament and do some good things in the tournament, then it'll be something that we can be remembered for. With it being their first team with this coaching staff and stuff, and getting there like through all the odds is something that we can remember. So this is bigger than just this year. It's for the program and it's for our lives. Like when we're 50 years old, we want to be able to tell people that we played in the tournament and we were the first team here that he had that got there. So it's bigger than just for right now. It's for like just lives and history.
Now the regular season's over and these games become, win or go home. Have you felt some type of switch in that locker room? Has anybody kind of energy changed since this has kind of got to this point?
Oh, definitely. I feel like there's just a will not to lose. Like, I feel like you saw it a little bit last game. There was a lot of moments where we could have crumbled. We came back, and then they made a lot of tough shots. They made a lot of big-time plays, and we could have crumbled, but we stuck with it. And we were able to come out there with a very hard-fought win. So you saw it last game, and hopefully you continue to see it. But I do think there's a sense of urgency that, especially now that you win, you go home. So we should be coming out like our lives are on the line.
What's Coach been emphasizing to you all the most this week?
Just we got to stick and do what we do. We always got to play the way that we normally play, and eventually everything will pan out. Even if it doesn't look pretty the first couple of minutes of the game, it'll pan out, and everything will end up happening the way it's supposed to happen as long as we do what we're supposed to do.
Any thoughts on your opponents, like either Oklahoma or South Carolina, and which one you played well against both of them? So which one you'd rather face, or any thoughts along those lines?
It doesn't really matter. We got to come out and beat whoever we play against. They're both really good teams. Both coming off 2 great wins, so both of them are hot. Oklahoma's won, I think, 7 of 8, right, or 4 or 5, something like that.
They lost to y'all.
Yeah, they haven't lost in a minute, so they're really, really hot. Those are dangerous teams in March, but so is South Carolina. They got, a guard that's capable of going for 30, so, and so does Oklahoma. So if you have teams like that you're playing against, they're both going to be really, really tough opponents. So we know that either way it goes tomorrow when they play, that it's going to be a tough opponent. We're going to have to bring our best game on Thursday night.
You were the one that dubbed Rashaun Mr. All-SEC back in January, I think. Just what it mean to you guys for y'all to see him get that kind of accolade?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, he puts a lot of work in. He does a lot of great things out there. Everybody knows we wouldn't be where we're at today without him. So it's really, really great to see he got some recognition for his fantastic play this year. He's been a good communicator. He's been one of the guys that play hard every single time. He does a lot of things for us, and he's really one of the reasons why he's probably the biggest reason why we're where we're at right now. So it's really, really great and amazing to see that he got all SEC. And I'm sure that, he has a lot to show still in the end of the season coming up.
Hey, from a teammate's point of view, what makes him so good when, he's typically going against bigger guys and things like that? Why do you think he's so productive despite, those kind of matchups?
He's just really smart. He understands the game. He knows how to play. He knows how to get people in foul trouble. He knows how to do a lot of things. He's just really smart. He knows how to make the right pass, make the right play. His instincts are good. He knows when somebody's jumping at his shot fakes, so he's able to pump fake at a very, very high level, and he's just really, really controlled and poised and comfortable. So I would say just his demeanor and just how smart he is with how much he knows the game and his experience is a big reason why he's been able to be successful against maybe taller and bigger guys. He's just smarter, and his heart, he has bigger heart than a lot of people. So, yeah, that's pretty much why.